You know what the worst part of credit card debt is? The guilt you feel when you buy literally anything. Like, I'm on the way to get a coffee right now because our coffee pods haven't shown up in the mail, and I'm like, do I need to spend that money? Can I just not have coffee today? Yeah, no, unless you want, like, the worst version of myself. I need coffee today, but I feel guilty about it.
Let me ask you a question, a real deep one. What is the opposite of love? It's not regret, it's not greed, it's not gluttony, it's a minimum payment. Think about that for a moment. Today, we are going on a journey. We're diving in a deep sea of regret and self-hate, and that sea is credit card debt. A lot of financial gurus out there will tell you this is all about numbers. It's about APRs and balance transfers and quote-unquote paying your bills on time. And sure, that's part of the appetizer, but we're talking about the main course here, which is the human element. A credit card statement is not just a bill. It's a diary. It's a love letter to things you thought would make you happy. It reminds me of my second most serious relationship. I thought if I just bought enough Chipotle gift cards and robotic back massagers, she'd see my value. Turns out, she just wanted me to listen. So, I was left with a very well massaged back and a heart that felt like it had been through a tortilla press. And that's the real danger here. The big problem that's hiding in plain sight. This isn't just about money. This is about chasing a feeling. It's about swiping a little piece of plastic, hoping for a little piece of happiness in return. To quote my favorite superhero, with great purchasing power comes great monthly statements. And when you watch these clips, you will see the real human toll. It's actually quite sad. It's a quiet desperation. A desperation that could probably be solved with a really good hug and maybe a good dinner to Chipotle. Alright, so let's roll the first clip before my confidence expires. It doesn't have an APR, but the interest compounds quickly.
I was taught when you get a credit card, you use it like a debit card and you earn points with it. Ever since I turned 18, I stopped using my debit card. I use my credit card for every single thing I buy. And to people like that lady, it looks silly, but at the end of next month, I'm going on vacation and my flight is free because I'm using my credit card points. And this isn't the first time I've gotten a free flight. I've also gotten a free Dyson, I've gotten a free espresso machine, and I've gotten free Doc Martens and other things just from using my credit card and earning points. So if you're someone who can do that responsibly, it's so much better to use your credit card than it is your debit card because you're earning points.
First of all, this is how it starts. This is the gateway. People think a little credit card for $1 is no big deal, but it's a slippery slope. First, you're tapping for chips. Next thing you know, you're buying a boat you can't afford just to get enough points for a free pair of socks. It's a vicious tricycle. Credit cards are basically the candy cigarettes of the financial world. Now that older woman in line, and I'm fully on the TikToker side about this, she reminds me of my neighbor that I had growing up. She once asked me why I was mowing my lawn in a full suit. I said, you gotta dress for the job you want, not the job you have. She didn't get it. Some people are just analog. They don't understand the digital age. You can't teach an old dog new math. You have to be patient with them. Their brains are full. There's no room for new information. Alright, so let's go back to the main person. So she thinks she's cracked the code. You get a free Dyson, a free espresso machine. That's fantastic. But her whole strategy is a house of cards. What if she gets sick? What if she has a bad month? Then the interest kicks in and bam, you're in a real pickle of a situation. My financial philosophy is much simpler. I keep all my money in a different labeled envelope. There's fun money, serious money, emergency fund money, and money for magic tricks. It's diversified. And when the envelopes are empty, that's it. You're done. Or you can borrow money from your brother and pay them back later. But that's much better than borrowing credit from a credit card because there's actual accountability. My brother could go to me at any time and bully me for his money back. So the lesson here is cash is king, old people are confused, and free stuff is a trap unless it's from your brother.
I really wish more people talked about the fact that so many more people than you think are in credit card debt. You're starting to look at people around you and wondering how the hell they're purchasing luxury cars, going on these lavish vacations, buying luxury items like sunglasses, designer purses, things like that. It's credit cards. They're in credit card debt. Especially the kids that you went to school with and they always had the newest iPhone, the newest clothing, even drove like a luxury car. Their parents are in credit card debt. I just feel like it's not talked about enough and no one is real about it. I consider myself to be a very independent woman. I have a good job. I make a decent living. I've always wondered how the people around me are doing these crazy, lavish, luxury, expensive things and wondering why I can't afford it as someone who also works very hard. It's credit card debt.
That is exactly the point I was trying to make. It's a vicious catch-21. So the first video we watched, she bought a measly $1 item. It seemed so safe and so smart, a little dollar purchase here, a little tap there. But this new person, she is showing us the trap. It's the same story, just a different chapter. A much sadder chapter. It's like watching a movie where the hero celebrates in the first 10 minutes and you just know it's all going to go south. This is what I like to call the consumer spiral of sadness. It starts with something small like a bag of chips. You get points, you feel good, you feel smart. Then you think, well, if I get 10 points for chips, imagine how much I'll get for a pair of designer sunglasses. Then it's a handbag. Then it's a vacation to Disneyland. Before you know it, you're looking at your credit card bill and it looks like a phone number. A very, very long phone number. And she is so right about appearances. It's all smoke and windows. I used to work with a guy. He drove a fancy sports car. Turns out, he was living with his mom and his car payment was more than my rent. This woman says she's an independent woman who works hard and can't afford this stuff. You want to keep up with the Jonases, but the Jonases are financing their entire lives and probably crying in their luxury car. I get it. The pressure is immense. You see something shiny and the caveman part of your brain takes over. Me want shiny thing, me give plastic rectangle. And you know what's really at the heart of this? It's honesty. This person is being honest. The first person was being honest about their experience too. But they are two sides of the same very, very thin dime. It's about the stories we tell ourselves. I'm being smart with points can very easily become, I'll worry about the bill next month. It's a profound burden to carry. The gap between the life you present and the life you can actually afford.
Everyone's always like, Brenda, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing a full-time job and posting on TikTok all the dang time? It's because I have $78,327 in student loans. And you want to know how much unpaid interest I accrued in the month of February? $523.93. And this is me paying at least a minimum of $2,000 per month. Started with a little bit over $150-something thousand because I had the bright idea of going to grad school so that I can graduate in a healthcare job to help people but not get paid enough for the amount of student loans I had to take out. Now, my fault, I went to a private university, but still, it shouldn't be this hard to pay off student loans. But based on my PT salary alone, there is absolutely no way that I could pay this much with just that salary alone and live a breathable, decent life. Make it make sense?
She's in a real pickle of a situation. She did everything she was told to do. She went to grad school and that's like extra credit for life. She got a job in healthcare to help people. And what does she get? She gets a PhD. PH debt. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a scalpel because, you know, healthcare. And the interest is $523 a month for nothing. That's just the fee for having the debt. It's like paying a cover charge to get into a club you absolutely hate being inside. For all intents and purposes, this is highway robbery. They should be wearing little masks when they charge you that. As the old saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But it won't do a darn thing about your student loan payments. She said she went to a private university. It's like buying name brand debt. You get the same product, but you pay a premium for the fancy label. You know, this really speaks to a generational problem. My generation, we were taught you work hard, you buy a house with a white picket fence. This generation, they're taught you work hard, you pay the interest on a loan for a degree that got you the job. Deep down, this is about a promise that was broken. The promise that if you invest in yourself, if you educate yourself, you'll be able to build a life, a breathable, decent life, as she says. But the rules changed mid-game. It's the feeling of running a marathon, crossing the finish line, and then being handed a bill for the shoes, the water, and the pavement you ran on. It's just unfair. So my advice, first, keep up the TikToks. That will make you a star. Second, declare bankruptcy. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's bad advice. My real advice, we need a revolution, a financial revolution.
I'm $89,000 in credit card debt, and I'm here to break down my cards to tell you how much I have on each card and what my payment is each month on each card. My first card is our Carter's credit card. It has $199 on it. My monthly payment is $30. My second card, Old Navy. It has $362 on it and a monthly payment of $30. Third card is our Citi card. It has $1,742 on it, and the monthly payment is $85. Fourth is Shields. It has $3,057 on it, and our monthly payment is $95. Next up is our Discover card. That has $4,969 on it, and our payment is $135 a month. Next up is Chase. That has $5,615 on it, and our payment is $153 a month. Next up is my personal military star card that has $7,860 on it. The payment is $170 a month. Next up is my husband's military star card that has $8,095 on it, and the payment is $175. These are the fun ones. Next up is our Visa Platinum. That has $11,503 on it, and our monthly payment is $285. Our Visa Cash Rewards card, that has a total of $20,371 on it, and our monthly payment is $520. Last but not least is our American Express that has $25,371 on it, and our payment is $620 a month. The total on these cards a little bit more than I said on a previous video because they have been hit with some interest since then. So our total is $89,203, and that brings our total monthly payments up to $2,298.
That wasn't a financial disclosure. That was a horror movie. It was like she was reading the closing credits of her own life. Starring American Express, co-starring Visa, with a special guest appearance by the ghost of financial security. $89,203. Do you know what you could do with that kind of money? You could buy a very, very nice mid-sized sedan. You could buy so many Chipotle gift cards. That is a staggering amount of money. And she has 11 credit cards. I have a lot of cards too. I've got my library card, my blood donor card, my laminated list of life goals. But this is different. This isn't a wallet. It's a deck of cards where every single one is a joker and the joke is on you. This is a crazy reality show. The show is called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The progression starts so innocently. You got Carter's for the kids' clothes, Old Navy for the parents. That's how they get you. It starts with the family. It feels responsible, but it's a slippery slope greased with interest payments. It's a tale as old as time. The chickens have certainly come home to roost, and they've maxed out their credit lines on the way. She's paying $22.98 a month just to stay afloat. That's more than most people's rents. She's basically running a marathon on a treadmill that's pointed slightly uphill, and someone keeps turning up the speed. You know, to stand there and list all that out, that takes guts. To look into the abyss of your own financial decisions and not just stare back, but to film it, put it on the internet for everyone to see, that is a type of courage that is both terrifying and admirable. It's a raw, unfiltered vulnerability. You have to admire the honesty. This is the final destination for that $1 bag of chips. You can draw a straight line from I use my credit card for everything to get points right to $89,203 and 11 cards.
Okay, I just want to say something real quick. I think that people need to stop being so hard on themselves for the debt that they are in. And I tell myself this all the time because I used to be constantly like beating myself up. Like, I can't believe how much credit card debt I got in and all this stuff. It doesn't matter anymore, unfortunately. Like, it's done. You bought the stuff you bought. You paid what you paid, like student loans, car loan debt, house debt, whatever it is. The debt's already done. You already did it. Why are we going to keep living in the past? Keep thinking about what we did in the past? Like, all we can do is move forward. That's it. That's the only thing that we can do. And if we constantly keep thinking about like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, it's not going to change anything. Like, why are we going to be in that mindset? So if we shift our mindset and just think, okay, what am I going to do to get myself out of this? What am I going to do differently? How am I going to change things now? Because you can't change the past. So let's worry about current, present time and the future. Let's set ourselves up for success for the future. And that is my biggest hot take, because what can you do about it now? There's nothing you can do about it. You already bought the makeup. You've already worn the makeup. You can't return it. So what's the use in thinking about the past? So don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing great. You're going to pay off this debt and you're going to be in a much better spot.
No, absolutely not. Hold the phone, cut the feed. This is without a doubt the most dangerous piece of advice we have heard all day. This is the little devil on your shoulder whispering sweet nothings, telling you it's okay that you messed up. It is not okay to mess up. Don't be so hard on yourself. Are you kidding me? That's like telling a quarterback who just threw the game-losing interception, hey buddy, don't worry about it. Let's just focus on the next game. No, you worry about it. You let that failure burn inside you. You let it fuel you. You have to be hard on yourself. That is how you forge greatness. She says the debt's already done. It doesn't matter anymore. It does matter. The debt is still on your credit report. It's still accruing interest while you sleep. That's like setting your house on fire and saying, well, can't change the past. No use thinking about that match I dropped. Let's just think about the future of this smoldering pile of ashes. You have to analyze the mistake. You have to feel the burn. I am hard on myself every single day. If a PowerPoint presentation is only 98% perfect, I consider it a personal and professional failure. I once misspelled hello on an internal email, and I still got a cold sweat thinking about it. That is the price of excellence. Fear is a fantastic motivator. It's nature's energy drink. The fear of repeating a mistake is what keeps you sharp. This don't be so hard on yourself stuff. It's just so soft. It makes you weak. It makes you the kind of person who says, well, I'm already $89,000 in debt. What's another designer handbag? That feeling she's talking about, that guilt, that shame of looking at what you've done, that's not a bad thing. That's your conscience. It's your internal compass telling you that you went horribly, horribly wrong. And to just turn it off and say, let's only look forward, is to choose to be lost. And getting lost is the worst. I got turned around at IKEA once. I ended up in the kitchenware section for what felt like 3 days. It was a nightmare. I still have flashbacks of endless bins of tiny whisks. So believe me, you do not want to be lost. Guilt is your GPS. Keep it on. So no, I reject this entire premise. Be hard on yourself. Be relentless. Write down your mistakes. Laminate the list. Read it every morning. Let the shame be your rocket fuel. So what's the final word? The big takeaway is that credit cards are like magical genie that grants you wishes. But for every wish, he also takes a little piece of your future soul and charges you $24.99% APR on it. They're not just pieces of plastic. They are a one-way ticket to a place called I'll worry about it next month. And trust me, the weather there is always stressful. And hey, if you thought it was helpful, and I know you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe, ring the little bell. I think that does something.